welcome to Hawaii Literacy's Adult Literacy Program Volunteer Tutor Training. Thank you for your interest in training to become a volunteer tutor with Hawaii Literacy. Your desire is appreciated not only by us, but also by those adults who have difficulty in reading and writing. As an active tutor, you will really make a difference in someone's life. The ability to read opens doors and changes lives. In the following modules, you will learn about what it is like to be a one-to-one tutor. Each module will have a subsequent quiz to evaluate your progress. The training is supported by the Tutor Training Manual, which you will have either received or were given access to on the website. In addition, we will be giving you the book Teaching Adults, a literary resource book which explains and exemplifies strategies and tools to supplement your tutor practice. The book and manual will be referenced throughout this training. After completion of the modules and quizzes, you will schedule an individual meeting or group session with other prospective tutors to demonstrate some of the strategies mentioned in the modules, answer any questions that you may have, and get you ready to be paired with your learner. We want you to know that as a trained tutor, you will always have our support. Resources for tutors can be accessed on our website, and help is only a phone call away. We will contact you periodically to offer assistance, continued professional development, and encouragement. We look forward to supporting you in every way we can. We will now begin Section 1, Welcome to Tutoring. Before we begin, here's some information from one of our learners, Lori.
I did not know my ABCs, my numbers. I just signed my name. That's all I knew. I couldn't read a book. I couldn't read the newspaper. I would fake it. I'd be sitting at the bus stop with a book, acting like I was reading. I had no idea what it was. I couldn't care for myself. I couldn't cook. I couldn't clean. Very dim. I didn't think I had a future. Forget. My grandson was around 7 years old, and they spent the night. And he was in my bedroom, on my bed, crying, really quiet. So when I went in, I said, "What's wrong, boo-boo?" And he looked up at me and he said, "Grandma, you're dying. And I need you. You cannot die." I got up and threw away all the pills. And finally I called, and I think I spoke to Heidi, and she found Amy Tatsuno. Amy helped me get over the fear and the embarrassment of not being able to recognize an A from a B. She didn't push. She wanted me to go at my level. She told me just take one step at a time. And I did. You know, from getting rid of the psych meds to learning how to read and write. Now I can follow directions and instruction booklets and stuff. I'm looking towards a Hawaiian Studies certificate. And if I can do that, then I'm going to shoot for my AA in Hawaiian Studies. I want to help kids, teenagers, the ones that society says they're at risk. I think most of my life I thought I didn't have a future. But now I see I do. Anything is possible, but you need to have somebody to say it to you in order for you to believe it. And through Amy's help and Heidi's help, my eyes are so wide open that now I see a future where I didn't see one before. Thank you, Hawaii Literacy, for giving me a chance. Support Hawaii Literacy. It's the best organization Hawaii has. It helps not just the reading and writing, it helps their self-esteem. And I speak from experience.
Lori Ann was not only a learner in our program, but she eventually became a tutor like you. We will start by examining the problem of low literacy and its societal effects. More than 36 million adults in the United States cannot read, write, or do basic math above a third grade level. Children whose parents who have low literacy levels have a 72% chance of being at the lowest reading levels themselves. These children are more likely to get poor grades, display behavioral problems, and have high absentee rates, as well as repeat school years or drop out. Low literacy costs the United States $225 billion or more each year in non-productivity in the workforce, crime, and loss of tax revenue due to unemployment. 43% of adults with the lowest literacy levels live in poverty. 75% of state prison inmates did not complete high school or can be classified as low literacy. In Hawaii, 16% or 1 in 6 adults in Hawaii cannot read or write at a basic level. This is over 150,000 people. And 42% of Hawaii's 8th graders read below basic, higher than the national average of 29%. 54% of students from low-income families in Hawaii read at a below basic level, and only 11% are considered proficient. In Hawaii literacy, we view the problem of low literacy as a problem of access. Low literacy means not having access to jobs that pay enough to support a family. Low literacy means that you do not have access to information and resources in the same way as literate adults. Low literacy means that you may not be able to help your children in school, and the problem of illiteracy may become cyclical and intergenerational. Our mission is to find the 1 in 6 adults in Hawaii that struggle with reading and writing and offer them the opportunity to work on their foundational literacy skills in order to achieve their goals. Your willingness to become a tutor with Hawaii literacy and offer your time to another adult in your community is the way that we will achieve this mission. Hawaii literacy uses a cumulative approach to address the needs of literacy in our communities. I wanted to take a brief moment to let you know a little bit about our other services. Many of our clients participate in multiple Hawaii literacy programs. In addition to adult literacy tutoring, we have the Bookmobile, the Parents Achieving Literacy Program, or PALS, family literacy libraries at public housing sites, and the ESL Program. The Family Literacy Program is comprised of 2 libraries or community centers for residents of the Kohio Park and Mara Wright Home public housing sites. In addition to checking out books, many of which have been donated, residents and patrons can participate in weekly story hours, literacy activities, and receive help with homework. We also provide access to computers and high-quality children's ebooks at our technology on-site rooms and through our subscription to Tumble Books. Community volunteer groups offer Saturday Story Hour events as well. Please check the Hawaii Literacy website for more information. We also offer the Bookmobile Program. The Bookmobiles travel weekly to provide families on the Waianae Coast in East Oahu with access to books and hopefully a lifelong love of reading and learning. In Waianae, the Bookmobile visits the Boys and Girls Clubs of Waianae Nanakuli and the housing developments, as well as homeless and emergency shelters. The children can read and check out books, and there are also books for young people and adults. Each day there are also various literacy-related activities. The Bookmobile is equipped with tablets for children and their caregivers to use. Please check our site for the recent visits and schedule for both the Waianae Bookmobile, the East Coast of Hawaii Bookmobile and our Bookmobile on the Big Island of Hawaii. Hawaii Literacy also offers free English classes for adults who are looking to gain skills related to real life situations. The ELL program, or English Language Learner Program, serves individuals whose native or first language is not English. Our program is designed to be an open environment supporting anyone needing assistance from a variety of skill levels, backgrounds, and commitment levels. Students may come one time only, as needed, or on a consistent basis. Services are available for speakers of all abilities, from beginners to advanced. Some adult learners begin in the English Language Learner Program to strengthen their conversational English skills and eventually move over to the Adult Literacy Program to work on other foundational English literacy skills, including reading and writing. We accept ELL learners into the Adult Literacy Program when their conversational English skills are strong enough for them to work effectively with a tutor in a one-to-one setting, and we have enough tutors to accommodate them. The main goal of the Adult Literacy Program is to assist individuals whose native language is English, who, for a variety of reasons, were not able to attain functional literacy. We are currently offering our ELL classes virtually. Please check our website for more information. As a nonprofit, we have a small staff, and all of our programs exist because of the help and assistance of volunteers like you. Our Adult Literacy Program utilizes the one-to-one tutoring method in order to meet students where they are and strengthen their ability to read and write. As of this video, we offer programs on Oahu, Kauai, and the Big Island of Hawaii. We are always looking to expand our programs and to other target areas in the future. Many adults in our program were not successful in the traditional classroom learning models and find success when reading instruction is tailored to their needs and they receive reinforcement and immediate feedback from the one-to-one tutor setting. Not being able to read is often a shameful experience, and this model can guarantee privacy and the ability for our clients to learn in an environment which builds their confidence. In addition to the tutoring program, the Adult Literacy Program offers support for parents with school-age children in our Parents Achieving Literacy Program, otherwise called PALS. We offer resources, information, and activities in order to support parents in helping their children with reading, whether or not literacy is a barrier. Every Wednesday, we post informational videos on our social media site, as well as offer events and training for assisting their children with literacy. We will now move into sharing the intake and assessment process for new clients in the Adult Literacy one-to-one tutoring program, which you are volunteering to facilitate. Making the call or contacting Hawaii Literacy to ask for help is the first step for many of our learners. Many learners see our flyers and advertisements and take some time to build up the courage to begin our program. Other clients are referred to us by other social service partners and providers who identify the need for help for their clients. After the client calls, we set up an appointment in order to get information about the client. We do a skills assessment to identify strengths and weaknesses, as well as place them in our curriculum and get them comfortable with our services and program. We then match the learner with a tutor by location, availability, and preferences, and we provide ongoing support for the tutor and learner pair respectively. We ask that you meet with your tutor 1 to 2 times per week for about an hour, depending on the pair's preference and availability. Meeting more than once a week can allow your learner to progress faster, but is not required. A typical session will last around an hour from beginning to end, as supported by the curriculum and any additional activities or materials you may review. Typically, tutor and learner pairs meet in a public location or virtually. We can assist you with organizing and setting up this process, as will be discussed in subsequent modules. This is the intake form that we use when we get new clients at Hawaii Literacy. The intake form helps us gather information about the prospective learner. It allows us to collect demographic data for our grant reporting. and it helps us to learn more about the learner and their individual goals for participation in the program. It helps us understand how we can make the program work for the prospective learner. And it also allows us to get to know the prospective learner so we can match them with the tutor. Some of the things that we ask the learner on the intake form include their goals, like maybe getting their driver's license or finding a better job, being able to read better or write better, improve their spoken English or use a computer. We ask them their tutor preference, how they get around in their transportation, when they're available to meet. We also briefly discuss their interests and any other information that they think is relevant for them to tell us. We conduct background checks on all learners and tutors. When we find a prior record, this does not make a potential learner or tutor ineligible to participate in the program, but we'd like everybody to feel comfortable and be informed. We walk the learner through each section and explain to them that giving consent for media is not required. There are 2 assessments that a learner could complete when they begin their intake and assessment with Hawaii Literacy. The first is the Lobach assessment, which tests their foundational literacy skills and places them in the curriculum. This is not a test. It is really just for us to place the learner in the correct place and to inform you about where their strengths and weaknesses are. We explain to the learner that they can stop anytime, and it helps us to better understand their strengths and weaknesses. We start with the Lobach series, the writing test, and we moved into the challenger test if necessary. If the potential learner misses more than 6 questions, we stop the assessment. This is the writing Lobach assessment. The challenger assessment will be conducted if the learner successfully completes the Lobach assessment. It consists of 2 parts, a reading of word lists of increasing difficulty and reading passages orally and answering corresponding comprehension questions. If the potential learner misses more than 5 in a section, then we stop the assessment. If they complete all of it, we move on to the next section. Really, this process is to welcome the potential learner and explain what they're doing. We go through the intake form and the assessment, and we give the potential learner a timeline or estimate of when they will hear from the program and our contact information. Typically, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for us to match a learner and tutor. Given the current situation and challenges, it might take a little longer depending on whether the learner has access to internet and access to equipment to access the internet, which we try to assist if possible. The takeaways about the intake and assessment process is that the experience that the potential learner has is just as important as the paperwork. We really want to convey support and excitement to the potential learner, and we want them to know that we think that they can succeed. We also want to make sure the learner knows what to expect and how to contact the appropriate person at Hawaii Literacy. We complete the assessment process so that you can build a relationship with your learner and not have to worry about assessing or quizzing. We can handle the programming and communication. The last section of Module 1 explains the responsibilities and realities of tutoring. We want our volunteers to feel informed and prepared as they graciously offer their time to assist an adult in their community. Tutoring requires a patient, supportive, and caring and flexible individual in order to build the rapport it requires for an adult to achieve success in literacy. Some of our learners are embarrassed about not being able to read, so making sure that you respect the privacy of your learner is key. We will inform you of the client's preferences and communication so that you can both feel comfortable planning, scheduling, and attending your sessions. The tutor needs to be prepared for their sessions. Our curriculum materials do a great job of offering support and guided tutoring instruction. However, you will want to at least preview the lesson before your session with your learner so that you are comfortable delivering the material as well as make any enhancements. We are here to support you in that process. We know that you will represent Hawaii Literacy in a professional manner and relay any relevant information or concerns to the staff. We ask that tutors commit to at least 6 months of tutoring, which does not need to be consecutive. The process of learning to read and learning literacy skills takes time. Additionally, building a relationship with your learner where both parties are comfortable with each other and effective tutoring happens in your sessions can take time. A lot of learners end up staying in tutoring and pushing through other struggles and barriers they may have because of their dedication to their tutor and the relationship that they build. Finally, we want to ask that you keep a record of your sessions for the program for our grant and reporting process purposes. We will discuss this in a later module. Tutoring realities. The realities of tutoring include the possibility that your learner may cancel. All adults are busy, and many of the adults in our program have other barriers besides low literacy. We are here to support this process, and if canceling becomes a frequent occurrence or a barrier to progress, please do not hesitate to reach out. We are here to intervene and support you in those incidents, and we want to be respectful of your time. Progress could be slow. There are many reasons why your learner could take time to progress, but when you do see your learner gaining new skills, you will understand why you have taken the time to volunteer. Again, if you feel as if the progress your learner is making is of concern, please do not hesitate to reach out. You may plan a great lesson and something else could come up that's more important. Your learner may have mail they don't understand, a form for their job, or a form from their child's school that needs to be filled out. If there's something that's more pressing that your learner could use assistance with, it is related to literacy, and you feel comfortable helping them, the lesson may be better spent on such tasks. Finally, special needs or a learning disability could be a consideration for your learner. Your learner may not have completed schooling. They may have a diagnosed or undiagnosed learning disability, or they may be facing other challenges. We will work with you to inform you and support you the best we can in the face of these challenges. The methods used in our literacy curriculum, along with the strategies that we will provide you, work for any individual learning to read and can support individuals even if a learning disability is present. We can provide extra resources and supports if needed. This ends Module 1. Please take the corresponding quiz and write down any questions that you have for Hawaii Literacy staff, and we can address them in the post-training meeting or discuss them with you individually. Thank you so much for your participation.